So I'm going to take my paper bag out again. I will grab, these are just two pieces. These are the two corners. You can see the straight edge lines here and here because I ripped the top and bottom right and left corners out, and I'll use them to corner my card here. So I'm just gonna flip them both over, coat them with a little bit of Mod Podge on the back. And then line them up on the corner here of my card. And apply. And then again, because this is such a pliable and easy to work with material, like it's so thin and so moldable, if it's off the edge a bit, you can just kind of like rub it off over the edge. You could cut it if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna fold it over and glue it to the back. Because this isn't, this is not a card base. This is something that I'll glue onto the top of a card. If this was your card base, you probably wouldn't want to go over the back because you'd see that inside your card. But because this is something I'm going to glue on top of my card after, I've just folded the excess over the edge. Just like that. And then I'll do the exact same thing on the opposite corner. Over the edge. All right, and then that would be a nice little element on a card backing. And maybe I'll go ahead and add some gold onto this too. So I'm just gonna take just very light little, like it doesn't take a lot. That actually probably is too much. I'll probably wipe a little bit off here. It barely takes any adhesive. Tiny little bit, and then I'm just gonna sort of brush randomly up the two sides to get a little bit of gold onto the border along with my other elements. So again, I'm going for a very random finish, so I don't even the adhesive that I've painted on, I'm not even trying to cover that complete surface where I applied the Mod Podge or gel medium. I'm not even gonna cover the complete wet surface that I just created. I just want a little bit of gold. Okay, and then I'll let that dry for a minute before I sand that off. And finally, I will show it just straight glued onto a white piece of paper, which you then could cut out or even punch. Like you could run that, like, so let's say I've Mod Podged onto the paper. Once you're done that, you could take that and run it through a die cut machine or emboss it to give it a bit more texture, or punch it, or just fussy cut it out and apply it onto a project. Maybe you want to use pop dots to apply it. And so it can't be this flimsy rice paper material because the pop dots wouldn't hold it up. So you could stick it onto cardstock and then it would be firm enough that you'd be able to pop it onto a project. That could be one reason why you might want it to be a bit more solid. Okay, so it's literally that simple. I took it, laid it upside down on my paper. Now I'm going to start at the top here, work my way down. And now I have this solid, but still that texture, like it almost feels like a material or like a little more linen-y than like a pattern paper would. So it still has that cool texture to it. And then now you could cut this out, punch it out, die cut it, ink it, whatever you wanted to, and apply this as an embellishment onto any type of project that you wanted. So those were my three kind of examples. I'm gonna just quickly try and buff off some of the gold so I can show you what that finished effect would look like. Just finished cleaning up all the glitter from yesterday, so why the heck not add more, right? All right, so, oh my gosh, I love that so much. So you can see just like little random pockets of shimmer. They're not perfect. Like when you're using score tape or double-sided adhesive, you get such a perfect, clean application, which sometimes is nice, but if you're using like a liquid glue, even a glue pen, like, not a glue pen, a glue stick, like you can buy a glue stick from the dollar store and just like rub it on your project and then sprinkle some of these down, and it just gives that like really perfectly imperfect splash of gold, or if you're using the Aurora Flakes, maybe purple or blue or whatever. So yeah, that is how you apply rice paper, and then that is how you layer rice paper and sort of create your own textured layered background. Does anybody have any questions?